Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Joy and I am so glad that you chose this to be your safe space. In today's video, we are going to be going over my top book recommendations to get you into reading. So if you have wanted to get into your reading era for a really long time and you decided that this is your year, then this video is for you. So let's dive in. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be breaking down these recommendations by genre. So we're going to start off very strong and we're going to start off with romance. Romance is one of my absolute favorite genres. It is such great escapism and I truly feel like you will love these books. If you do not want to immediately dive into the spicy side of things, then I highly recommend this book, and it is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. We have two best friends, Nate and Bree. Nate is in the NFL and Bree teaches private dance lessons. They don't necessarily sabotage each other's relationships. Every time one of them is in a relationship, the other one is single, and then vice versa. The timing is just never right for these two to get together. There's a viral video that goes around of Bree and the two end up fake dating, and the story just goes from there. And Sarah Adams is just one of those authors where it is just, the romances are so cute, they're so fluffy, and they literally remind you of Hallmark movies, and I think that you guys will really like this one. Now, another closed-door romance author that I highly recommend is Katherine Sinner, and my favorite book from her is The Bodyguard, and essentially we do have the bodyguard trope. However, the bodyguard is our FMC named Hannah, and she is looking after Jack Stapleton, who is a actor, and he has been getting a little bit of some stalking. He's been dealing with like a stalker, and so Hannah comes in to protect him, and it's just really cute and really fluffy. The two have really great banter together, and you do also have some familial issues going on, and I think Katherine Sinner handled that really, really well in this story. And this book is so underhyped to me. It does not get the love that it truly deserves, and I really think that this book will really help you get into romance. Now, for my girlies who want a little bit of spice in their books, this queen right here, look at the name, Allie Hazelwood. This queen right here is your girl. She eats with the spice. I love Allie Hazelwood's books. Now let's dive into her debut, which is The Love Hypothesis. We are following our main character, Olive, who is a PhD student who is kind of dealing with some drama with her best friend, and apparently her best friend ends up dating her ex. So in order to prove that she is not jealous of this new relationship, she decides to fake date one of the professors, which is Dr. Adam Carlson. And this man, yes, I know we've heard the rumors that this may be Adam Driver fanfic, and yeah, because you can't picture nobody else playing Adam Carlson. Like, come on now. And this book is just, it's so over the top and just so quirky and so fun. But when you get to the spice, oh my God, the spice is everything. It's so good. I love this concept, and I think a lot of people love Allie Hazelwood for her STEM romances, because we have these FMCs who are so smart and so brave and are so badass, and I freaking love these STEM romances so much. This one was not my favorite, but I do recommend it if you want to get into Allie Hazelwood's books. However, let's dive into my favorite, Love Theoretically. Elsie and Jack, they cross paths when Elsie is a struggling adjunct professor at a university, and she, in order to get by, she agrees to be a fake girlfriend for some clients, and one of her clients is Jack's brother, and Jack can see through her BS, and he is very intrigued by her. And Elsie, on the other hand, is trying to get a job at another prestigious university, and Jack is on the panel. So there's a lot of tension, and I really love it. And the spice in this one was really good as well. And Also, this queen right here is a Twilight fan. So if you are a Twilight girly, then you will love these references to Twilight. All right, now the next romance book that I love that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. We are following our main character, Emma, who was married to her high school sweetheart named Jesse. And Emma and Jesse, they were married for about a year, and on their 1-year anniversary, Jesse has to go because he's a videographer. So Jesse goes to a work trip where he is going to be filming this documentary. However, Jesse's plane crashes and he is presumed dead. So Emma's life completely has turned upside down, and she just does not know how she's gonna live life without her high school sweetheart and the love of her life. And she's just trying to pick her life back up. A few years later, she runs into an old friend named Sam, and her and Sam end up reconnecting. They end up falling in love and getting engaged. And Emma is very happy in her life. She is engaged to the man of her dreams, and she gets a phone call one day, and it's Jesse on the other end of the line, and he says, "Hey, I'm not dead, I'm alive, I'm coming home to you. I want to pick up where things left off." It's kind of like Magnolia Parks, like how many loves do you really get in a lifetime? And I really felt for Emma because I understood where she felt when it came to her feelings for Jesse, and I understood where she felt when it came to her feelings for Sam. And for those of you asking, I was very happy with the ending. The next genre that I want to dive into is thrillers. If you want something that is a little bit more of a popcorn thriller, then you guys already know where I'm going with this. The Housemaid. I loved The Housemaid. It is one of those books that is very near and dear to my heart. It was one of the first books in my adult reading journey that I was able to read in a little over a day, and I love it for that. I love that we have our main character, Millie, who recently got out of prison, and she's struggling and she does not have a job and she's desperate. So she runs into this woman named Nina Winchester, who is in desperate need of a housemaid and a nanny. She interviews Millie and Millie gets the job. However, as soon as Millie gets there, she notices some weird situations going on with the family, especially with Nina, and her living quarters only locks from the outside. It's some pretty strange and eerie stuff going on here. I love this book and I devoured the series. So the second book is The Housemaid's Secret. I really love that one. And then we also have The Housemaid is Watching. I've heard mixed reviews on The Housemaid is Watching, but I do think that it was a really good ending to the series. The next book that I'm going to recommend from her is The Inmate. Now, you guys know that I have had some thoughts about the character in this book. However, character aside, I think that this book is incredible. We are following our main character, Brooke, who is a single mom who is a nurse practitioner at a maximum security prison. However, a man that is in this prison, she knows him very, very well, and she sent him here. The twist really got me. I really thought I had the twist figured out, but Frida told me no, I did not. I did not. I think that anyone else will tell you the same thing, that this book is really, really good. And the epilogue had me gagged. One more Frida rec, I swear. I promise you this is my last one. Never lie. It's just something about that book that just really had me shook. I was shook to my core when I read it. We are following our two main characters who are newlyweds, and they are about to close on a house. However, this house belonged to a renowned psychiatrist who disappeared about 4 years ago, and she has not been seen or heard from since. While they are in the process of closing on this house, there's actually a blizzard. So the couple ends up being stuck there, and they're just roaming around the house looking around, and they come across some tapes, and they decide to listen to the tapes, and a lot of things get revealed, and it is some pretty scary stuff. The twist, I literally was in my kitchen washing my dishes when I was listening to this book, and when the twist came up, I was like, what? It had me shook. Now, this next book, I don't hear a lot of people recommend it, I don't hear a lot of people recommend this author, but this author deserves way more hype on here, and that is S.A. Cosby and his book Blacktop Wasteland. We are following our main character Bug, who used to be the best getaway driver along the East Coast. However, he decided that he was done with that life. He wanted to settle down with his wife and his kids, and he ends up in deep financial debt. And so he comes across an old associate who has an opportunity for him. This book essentially begs the question, how far are you willing to go for your family? If you are a fan of action movies and Fast and Furious and things like that, you're really gonna love this book. I've heard many great things about his other book, Razor Blade Tears, and I want to get into that one very soon, but this one, I highly recommend it. I loved it. Now, the next book that I recommend is if you love true crime. So if you're fans of like Forensic Files, Crime Junkie, all of those things, you will really love this book. And it is Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Essentially, we are following our main character, Lucy, who is found wandering the streets of Texas in her best friend Savvy's blood. And so after Savvy's murder, Lucy decides that she's going to get out of town and just rebuild her life. However, she comes back to Texas for her grandmother's birthday, and she ends up teaming up with a podcast host named Ben Owens, who has this podcast called Listen for the Lie, and they team up and try to figure out what truly happened to Savvy. I loved the audiobook for this. I think that that is the best way that you can consume this story, and it's really great that they had the full cast element and they had the actual podcast in the book, and I just thought it was incredible. It was freaking awesome. The next book that I'm going to recommend is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. This is the same author as A Flicker in the Dark, our main character Isabel, and a year ago her son Mason went missing from his crib and he has not been seen since, and ever since that day our main character has just really been struggling. She has not been getting any sleep. And so she teams up with a podcaster to help solve her son's case. And this book had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I did not know if we had an unreliable narrator situation. I just didn't know if I could believe everything that our MC was telling us. It really digs deep into the commentary of motherhood and postpartum and the ways that true crime listeners in the true crime community can be of better help to victims and their families. If you want to get into YA, you guys already know where I'm going with this. And we have a Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Again, if you are a true crime girly, you are really gonna love this one. And in the story, we are following our main character, Pip, who is doing her senior project. And for this project, she is going to be solving the cold case of a girl that went missing in her hometown. 5 years ago, a girl named Andy Bell went missing from this town, and everyone believed that Andy's boyfriend, Sal, was responsible. A few short days after Andy disappeared, Sal was found dead. And so everyone in the town believed that Sal killed Andy and that he killed himself to absolve himself from responsibility. Our main character does not believe that. She believes that somebody else is involved in this situation. So she enlists the help of Sal's younger brother, Ravi, to investigate this case and figure out what truly happened to Andy. I will admit, it is a lot of characters and that can be confusing at times. Next, we have our literary fiction, The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. It takes place a few years after the Vietnam War, and essentially our main character, Lenny, she is 13 years old at the time, and her father just got back from the Vietnam War, and he was a POW, and when he came back, he just completely changed. He was never the same. He has started drinking a lot more, and he has become very abusive. Lenny's dad decides that he wants to up and move the family to Alaska because he believes that the world is essentially going to end and he wants to protect his family. The book just follows Lenny as she is continuing to get older, and she becomes such a strong and resilient woman. And this story literally brought me to tears. This was my favorite book of 2024, and for many great reasons. I came out of it a changed woman. This book will literally have you crying. You feel like you're on the journey with Lenny and her family, and the found family that Lenny was able to have in this story was just incredible and beautiful. And the ending just, it brought me to tears. The next book that I have, I guess you can say this is historical fiction or literary fiction. We have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, this book does not get the love that it deserves, and that really hurts me. We are following the children of Mick Riva, who is the third husband of Miss Evelyn Hugo. And essentially, this is the backstory of this family and how they came to be. And in the present, we are following Nina Riva and her siblings. And every single year, Nina throws a end of the summer party, which is extravagant. The most famous people in California and in Hollywood come to this party, and they have themselves a grand old time. And a lot of secrets get uncovered at this party, and it is just, it's an insane story. I think where a lot of people may have lost the plot with this is that they thought that this was just a bunch of rich people drama. And that's not the case. Essentially, we have this family who goes through your normal struggles. And I saw myself in Nina Riva as the big sister who has to hold everything together and have the weight of the world on her shoulders. Like, Nina is such a relatable character, and her character arc at the end of this book was just beautiful. And I truly wish that this book gets a lot more love. And I think that once you guys get your hands on it and really read it and dig deep, I think you'll really love it. All right, you guys, I think that is enough book recommendations. I hope I have served you well. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about these recs and if you plan on adding them to your TBR. I love you guys very much, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.